Political pawns or savvy voters? That's the debate surrounding African-American voters like these people who helped Mississippi Republican Senator Thad Cochran stave off a furious challenge from Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniel this week. They are Democrats, and they crossed party lines because, according to one local bishop, they were motivated by a dislike of the Tea Party and the desire to, quote, take a stand. Mississippi's open primary law allows voters to cross party lines in primaries, but that's not stopping some conservatives, Rush Limbaugh among them, from crying foul. Here's what they have to say.
I wonder what the campaign slogan was in Mississippi the past couple days. Uncle Tom's for Thad? Insider Republicans in the Senate bought 9 percentage points, 8 or 9 percentage points from the black Uncle Tom voters in Mississippi.
When you have to win as a Republican by playing the race baiting game that the left routinely plays, I would say that the taste of victory today should be quite bitter.
John Funn published this flyer at National Review Online this morning, saying that it's one of many that were apparently distributed in black precincts throughout Mississippi. How they politicked is more important than that they did at the moment, unfortunately. And Cochran doing the political equivalent of shaking a Klan hood out in the streets to scare up votes is really unbecoming of anybody fit to hold elected office in this country.
All righty then, let's talk about that. Crystal Wright is editor and blogger for conservativeblackchick.com, and Marc Lamont Hill is a CNN political commentator and host for HuffPost Live. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go. Crystal, Mr. McDaniel has not conceded. In fact, he just said yesterday Cochran's team used race-baiting tactics to win. In your opinion, did they?
No, I mean, I'm pretty offended by those clips that you just ran from Laura Ingraham and Rush Limbaugh. I mean, that's the problem with our party. We don't go out and earn the black vote. And we saw that was to, you know, while I don't approve of this strategy, I don't think black Democrats in Mississippi really knew who they were voting for. I think they bought into this race narrative, oh, the Tea Party is racist, and I really think that they were used. However, it was a great political strategy, and what it does show is don't take the black vote for granted, even in an open primary. But, you know, so black voters do have influence. We can will power. But, I mean, I scratch my head because a lot of these black voters in Mississippi probably are not going to vote for Senator Cochran in the general election.
Well, do you think the Democrat will win in Mississippi?
No, look, it's a...
Well, then don't you have to show your power somehow?
I don't think the Democrat will win, which begs the question, Carol, why did all these black Democrats step in and vote for Cochran in the first place?
Because
Cochran has ignored, well, no, Cochran has ignored Mark. When is the last time you've seen Senator Cochran go after the black vote? It was an act of desperation, and I actually don't think it was. Well, I think blacks were used in Mississippi. Period.
Okay, Mark,
let me respond to a couple of those interesting points. The first thing is, yeah, I don't think blacks are generally going to vote in the Republican vote for a Republican in the general election. But what they saw was an opportunity to intervene in an election where otherwise they would have no political muscle. A Democrat's not going to win that seat. So they said we have an opportunity to step in and choose a more moderate Republican over a Tea Party Republican, because they had a very clear understanding based on the campaigning that the Tea Party alternative was not a good one. No, Cochran's not great, but Cochran at least could offer to consider being the first Republican to step up on the voter rights reauthorization bill. Do I think he's going to do it? Probably not. Do I think that blacks were exploited by the Republican Party in Mississippi? Absolutely. But I do think that there's some logic in general terms to black people intervening in these types of open primaries to affect who's going to be representing them in the Senate. And there's a bigger conversation here that I think we need to have, which is, does the Republican Party respect the black vote? The answer is absolutely not. But it's also important to say that the Democratic Party hasn't respected the black vote. They also have taken it for granted and not earned it.
Mark is exactly right. I mean, we agree on that. And Mark knows that I talk about this all the time. The Republican Party is not serious about earning the black vote. And what this shows, to Mark's point, is we as black Americans can exert political influence in races, not just open primaries. I think this is, hopefully will begin a critical discussion among black Americans to say, hey, we don't just need to throw our vote away, to Mark's point, on Democrats, because they haven't served blacks. The last 50 years of policies for Democrats haven't uplifted blacks economically. But this is a prime example about how, to Mark's point, the only time the Republican Party is serious about going after the black vote is, you know, it's like the vote of last resort. Blacks have become the vote of last resort, and we need to say no more.
Well, let me ask you this, Mark. The Tea Party, you know, there are allegations all the time against the Tea Party that it's racist. But when McDaniel refuses to concede and then says race baiting helped him lose, doesn't that feed in? Doesn't that make it worse?
Look, I know a lot of Tea Party people. None of them that I know are racist. Do I think that the Tea Party plays on racist tropes and racist narratives? Absolutely. Do I think that there are racists within the Tea Party? Absolutely. There are racists in a whole lot of parties. But I think what you see in this example is a bitter candidate who doesn't want to concede a loss, and he accuses Cochran of playing dirty. And the evidence of playing dirty is using black votes. Black votes are the thing that's dirty to him. That is a racial and racist subtext that makes people deeply wary of supporting the Tea Party and supporting Republicans. Does he represent all Republicans? No. But I do think there's a problem with that kind of discussion and that kind of narrative.
Marc, Lamont Hill, Crystal Wright, I got to leave it there. Thank you so much. I could talk about this all day. It's been fascinating. Thanks so much. We're back in a minute.
Pleasure.